For rounds 5 and 6, the VW Championship has travelled due east to Norfolk and the challenging Snetterton circuit. Now, Norfolk is an incredible county with over 90 miles of coastline and some brilliant beaches. But there's only one beach at the circuit, and that's on turn 1 at a track that is largely challenging and very fast.
It caters for everything, and trying to get a good balance on a car setup around here is key.
Very fast in areas where you need to be quite brave.
There's 2 massive straights, and power out the corners is critical.
The Part Oval track of Rockingham was our venue for rounds 3 and 4, and boy, it was a thriller. David Addison has the details.
That is the daunting first corner. We are ready to go racing. Good start down on the inside line. They're 3 wide up to the hairpin. Drama in the background. Cars in the barrier. That's going to be a stoppage. Side by side for the race lead. Jamie Bond on the outside gets it all wrong and off he goes. Big lock up by Dapper and he's off. It's a race win for Toby Davis. Blast off. Down to turn 1, good start being made by the front row drivers. And they go 3 wide into the first corner. Simon Walton in the barriers, big hit. There's oil down, there are cars going everywhere, look. Yellow flags fly, there are cars everywhere. It's a race win for Martin Depper. Chris Paniutu has yet to win, but he leads the championship. Joint second, Toby Davis and Dennis Stramberg ahead of Matthew Wilson, with Martin Depper 5th. Chris Paniutu is still looking for that maiden win, but he's been racing hard all season.
We come to the weekend, we knew we were quick, but unfortunately we had a bit of a tangle up with Depper, a very small tap, but it dislodged the front bumper and caused me the win, but I'm happy. The pace was there, so I'm good.
The man that's second in the championship, Toby Davis, suffered a hit from behind, which put him out of the second race at Rockingham. Dennis Stramberg was the man who did the tapping and was later excluded.
I mean, look, he made a mistake. It's not for me to say whether the stewards made a decision, and thankfully it benefited me. So that's all I can say, really. I mean, you'd never wish a disqualification on anyone. But what happened, and he got a penalty for it.
Newcomer to this weekend, former Mini Challenge racer, is Jessica Hawkins for a one-off outing.
Obviously my new job's taken a priority over anything at the moment, so I'm a stunt driver for Fast and Furious Live now. This is the first race back, so we're halfway through the season, just jump in. Yesterday was my first day in the car and it went really well. I'm pleased with P2. Anything's possible. I'll work hard, the boys are working hard, so we'll see what we can do.
The cars making their way round to the grid for this first of the 2 races here at Snetterton. It's the full 300 circuit in use. There is Jessica Hawkins second on the grid. Jess having gone really well in the qualifying session. It's a 1-by-1 staggered grid, so Simon Walton on pole, Jessica Hawkins second as the lights go out, and a bad start by Walton. The car bogs down, and it's Jessica Hawkins who bolts into the race lead as they dive down towards Riches for the first time. Great start. Walton picks up pace, goes second. Everybody else tries to be third as they dive into Riches. Dennis Stramberg was third on the grid, double winner this year. He dominated at Silverstone. And now you're on board with Chris Paniutu, the championship leader, don't forget, as he goes down through the gears into the Wilson hairpin for the first time. Swings right. He's back on the power, and ahead of him you can see it is the Jamie Bond driven Golf as they turn into the left-hander. Chris Paniutu gently with the power accelerates out the other side, knowing that he needs to bank points, but he needs to bank as many as he can, and that means overtake more cars and get up the order. So Jessica Hawkins, newcomer to the championship, leading the way very impressively as well. Everybody else all filing through behind. But the Alamy Motorsport car in the hands of Jessica Hawkins has the advantage. 1 or 2 running a little bit wider there. Look, Josh Coggan it was, getting forced wide, coming out of Agostini. Chris Paniutu runs wide as well. That was out of Hamilton. And the smoke ahead of him as a lock-up from Jamie Bond, and there's somebody off the road completely there. One of the Siroccos has gone way, way wide. That, I fear, was Rory Clark, back on track as the cars now swing their way onto Bentley Straight. It was Clark, and he's lost more ground as he recovers. Chris Paniutu then tightens up the belt. He knows this is going to be a hard race. Down Bentley Straight, grabs a gear. So the race leader is Simon Walton. He's hit the front. Jessica Hawkins is down to second. And the Audi TT, that much quicker than anybody else in qualifying, he's now saying to bolt clear here as well. Out of Brundle and Nelson they come, on towards Bombhole. The Golfs versus the Siroccos versus the Polos, with the interloping Audi TTs in the mix as well. Callum Jenkins, number 19, gaining ground on the inside. But now, look, the fight's on for second place. Is this going to enable Simon Walton to get away? To the end of the lap they come. In second place is Jessica Hawkins, but she's very busy defending now. Paul Taylor there, clipping the curb, and he's about to lose outlook because up alongside his teammate Tom Witts, the two of them over the timing line together. The power-maxed Polo of Witts, the Golf of Taylor, they run into riches absolutely together. Both of them very successful Volkswagen racers. Paul Taylor, a former champion. Tom Witts, no slouch as well. He's been the runner-up in the past in this championship as well. So through the hairpin at Wilson they turn, and Jessica Hawkins now, having lost that second place to a charging Dennis Strandberg, slots in behind. But the question is going to be whether she can fight back or Strandberg will be able to catch the leader. Here is the move that gave him second place. Feints to the outside, dives up the in, and there's only just enough room, but Dennis Strandberg goes through on the inside. So Strandberg on a mission, and Jessica Hawkins now dropping back a little bit into the clutches of Martin Depper. Martin, who won at Rockingham and has really come on a pace after a few seasons in the British Touring Car Championship. Much better driver than ever he was, and he wasn't bad to start with. Meantime, here, Jamie Bond is looking to try and gain a place as well. It's Matthew Wilson just up the road ahead of him as they come towards the timing line now, but Martin Depper becoming the real factor in this race. On board with Bond. Grabs a gear, speed building as they come past the pits and now up towards Riches. Ahead of him, look, you can see there's this battle going on still. Jessica Hawkins under attack for third place. Martin Depper right up behind again to the inside line as they go towards the Wilson hairpin, but he gets a face full of the Golf. Jessica Hawkins defends, and Depper almost pushes her into the corner. Side by side on exit. On the inside for turn 3, it's going to be Hawkins. Depper can't do it, slots back in behind. Meantime, Jamie Bond is still vigorously attacking Matthew Wilson. Out of turn 3, and now actually you've got 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th starting to concertina. All of this is playing into the hands of the race leader, Simon Walton, who is getting away up front. Scars of damage lower down the order as the rest of the pack wriggle through, including Russell Joyce there, the graphic designer. And there you can see at the head of that next queue, looking decidedly dog-eared. The car in the hands of Callum Jenkins. Through goes 23, Ethan Hamilton, star of the Junior Saloon Car Championship, who ran really well at Rockingham. The race leaders dive down now in towards Brundle and Nelson. Depper again trying to make a move against Jessica Hawkins. Together they run, absolutely tied together, but the drama for Depper here is the longer he's stuck behind Hawkins, so Dennis Strandberg is getting away into Bombhole. Turn right. Depper's car looking a bit smoky at the back, bit oily. Hopefully that's not a problem. And he sprints his way now down towards Coram. Somebody coming towards the end of the lap, well clear of anybody else, is the leader, and that is Simon Walton. The Slide Sports run Audi ahead. And Martin Depper's DW Racing Sirocco hunting down Jessica Hawkins as they come up past the pits now. I don't think Depper is going to be caught, but this next little battle pack of Wilson and Bond ain't that far behind as they come over the timing line now. On board with Bond once again, goes to the outside, trying to tee up for a dive to the in. Let's see, they go into the corner. But no, wasn't quite close enough, wasn't able to get the run. Look up the road, Depper crawling all over the back of Jessica Hawkins' car now. Is there a gap on the inside? There's not, but Hawkins brakes late, goes deep into the corner. Depper goes through. Was that a push to pass? I don't think it was. I think Depper just braked fractionally earlier than the very late braking Hawkins. There was a little rub, but Jessica was going to go deep into the corner anyway. Depper goes through then, picks up the place. Up the curb goes Jamie Bond. Ahead of him is Matthew Wilson, who in his time in the Volkswagen Racing Cup has got better and better and better. And Bond dives to the inside. Wilson slides out wide, had to sort of give him racing room there for fear of contact. And Jamie Bond dive bombs his way through. Box tick, place gain, through he goes. Up front then, it remains Simon Walton heading for a first ever win in the Volkswagen Racing Cup. Son Owen won at Alden Park last year in the mixed conditions when it was all about tyre choice. And there, I'm afraid to say, out of the race is Josh Coggan, that we saw being forced out wide early in the race. Now Bond hustles on, and he's onto the tail now of Jessica Hawkins, who is failing a bit in this race, which is a shame. It was a really good qualifying lap, but as the race has worn on, so Jessica has dropped away and away and away. A long Bentley straight now. Now Jamie Bond is not close enough to attack as they get towards Brundle and Nelson, but he's going to brake late and see whether he can force a mistake going into Bombhole or Coram. Through the left, through the right. You can see the way the gap has come down. It's game on here. And behind Bond, Matthew Wilson is being dragged along as well. The clock ticks on down for the end of 20 minutes of racing, and it looks as though Simon Walton is going to score a maiden victory, but the places behind are all up for grabs. Simon Walton for Slide Sports heads up towards the timing line. It is going to be a win at Snetterton. Checkered flag wave. Simon Walton wins race 1 of the weekend. He is a delighted man. Second goes the way of Dennis Strandberg. Third is going to be Martin Depper, and it's Hawkins, Bond and Wilson. 4th, 5th and 6th. Simon Walton dominates at Snetterton, but Dennis Strandberg and Martin Depper second and third after lots of good battling. Jessica Hawkins bags 4th ahead of Jamie Bond and Matthew Wilson. Chris Paniuto only 7th, but a great win for Simon Walton.
Simon, congratulations. Good win.
Yeah, fantastic. First win in the VW Cup. I've had a few wins before in the VAG, but not with the big boys. So that was fantastic. That, you know, I brought it home safe.
A bad start and a good battle in the first couple of laps with Jessica, and then just had to manage it. I mean, thinking about the championships and the points.
More action after the break.
Welcome back. Now, these pocket rockets are all-out race cars. You can't just grab one of these and take them on the roads because they're stripped out to save weight and made to go very, very fast.
Car is completely stripped. There's no aircon, there's no passenger seat. There's, you know, it's literally a bare frame and a roll cage and a seat and a steering wheel and some pedals. The brakes and everything are a lot better than your normal road car. We've got big discs on the front. Slicks as well, that makes a big difference. The amount of grip generated by those slicks is incredible, and far greater than anything on the road. They just take a little bit longer to heat up. They're a bit lively on the first few laps, but as long as you can get over that, you know, you're fine.
It's race time now, and this is a reverse grid, meaning the front 6 from last time out are swapped around. So the man who won last time out, Simon Walton, down there starts in P6, and the man who finished in 6th benefits from pole position. That's Matthew Wilson. Can he make the most of it?
It's going to be tough for Matthew Wilson because Jamie Bond lines up alongside him on the front row. Jessica Hawkins on row 2 with Martin Depper for company. Dennis Strandberg and Simon Walton on row 3. And there, as the grid is formed, Jessica Hawkins arrives late, and look at the windscreen. Something has hit the windscreen on the green flag lap. The car slots into place on the grid. I'd be fearful that she should be starting at the back and may get a penalty for going into her grid position. But as the lights go out, we go racing. Jessica Hawkins with damage even before the race starts. It is a good getaway by Matthew Wilson. Martin Depper to the outside line and diving down towards the right-hander of Riches through Jamie Bond, hangs on to his second place. Dennis Strandberg nips through on the inside of Jessica Hawkins' car now as they make the run up towards Wilson. Josh Coggan getting all crossed up, runs wide, and as they hit the hairpin for the first time of asking, Matthew Wilson it is who has converted pole into the race lead. He's yet to win in the Volkswagen Racing Cup. Could this be the day? Wilson gets better and better each time out, and there Jessica Hawkins having to defend. Chris Paniuto came here as the championship leader. He's had a third, a couple of second places, but not yet a win. And the Maximum Motorsport driver wants this to be a race victory, lines up to have a go on the inside down at Agostini, but there's a lot of traffic ahead. Jessica Hawkins is that first target as they run now up towards the left-hander at Hamilton's. So Matthew Wilson it is, they're trying to break clear up front. Jamie Bond gets all crossed up, he's over the curb, he's over the grass, kept his foot in, but Martin Depper arrives not just on his tail, but alongside him for second place now. Through the right-hander, Bond carrying the speed and looking up the inside of Wilson. He goes through, Depper dives through as well. Wilson put offline, he's going to go from first to second to third to fourth. Look onto the straight. Past him as well goes Dennis Strandberg. Dust settling in the background, and Strandberg from fifth on the grid, now getting himself up to the pointy end. Depper leads the pack, down they come towards Brundle and Nelson. Depper, then Strandberg, and Matthew Wilson has really lost out big time in all of this. Jamie Bond runs third, out of Brundle and Nelson, then the old S's sequence on towards Bombhole now, through the right-hander. Rattling over the curb, into Coram. To the end of the lap, hard on the brakes, Bond almost into the back of Strandberg there, and a battle on for second and third might just help Depper, the race leader, because Martin is trying to break away, and if Dennis Strandberg has to defend that second place, he'll take the longer, slower lines, and that will enable the leader to break away. Through they pour. 20 minutes of racing, and it's game on for the lead. Strandberg goes through, Strandberg locks up, Strandberg goes wide. Depper takes back the advantage, and now look, Bond attacks on the inside line. Jessica Hawkins' view is getting worse. The spider's web across the screen, making visibility almost impossible now. I'm still fascinated to know how it happened. The team wouldn't knowingly send the car to the grid like that, so something must have happened on the installation of the green flag lap. She's fallen back behind Chris Paniutu now. Really disappointing this, having been third on the grid. Now this might tell us this is the green flag lap, and suddenly, yes, the bonnet flies up into the screen. And Jessica, no option but to stop, get out, secure the pins properly, and then take the start of the race. There you've got Simon Walton, the Audi TT that won race one, started sixth on the grid for this race, chipping his way up the order and attacking Matthew Wilson now. Round the outside of the pole man he goes, so Wilson sixth in race one, pole for race two, but losing places now. You can see the amount of traffic that's wriggled past. Depper leading, second is Bond. Dennis Strandberg running in third spot as they turn now out of Wilson. So can Depper get away? Jamie Bond hasn't had a win yet this season. He would like one here. Chris Paniutu trying to adjust the mirror, but when you're strapped in, it's rather hard to move around in the cockpit and read. So it's very much by touch, that sort of biff the mirror and hope you've got it roughly in the right direction. Rattling over a curb may have dislodged it. And Chris Paniutu again can barely reach, look, as he tries to sort that out. And Jessica Hawkins is in the pit lane. Real disappointment that. It had been looking so strong this weekend, certainly qualifying, and it was a good first race, but dramas on that warming up lap cost indeed. Back on board with Paniutu as he tries to gain another place here. Inching up onto the tail of Dennis Strandberg, who's got a problem, I fear, because Strandberg is losing touch with the leaders, and through on the inside goes Chris Paniutu, takes the place. So he's chipping his way forward, could be on for a podium, should be on for a podium at this rate. Depper is the leader, Bond is second, third Paniutu, fourth there, look, Dennis Strandberg, but that car is starting to fade as the race wears on now. The race leader is going to have traffic to contend with very shortly as well. Mark Wakefield, the former Carter and mini racer, the Yorkshireman, going through. And there, look, you've got the Paul Taylor-driven Golf coming under attack. Simon Walton up with him. Taylor started behind on the grid. He's made pretty decent progress. Through the traffic goes the leader. And going after him, Jamie Bond, hustling on, trying to bring that gap down. So Martin Depper, who raced successfully in this series a good few years ago, then had his time in the British Touring Car Championship. This is Chris Paniutu, Clio racer, GT racer, Volkswagen racer. He was up the curb there, getting around the outside. Down a gear, turn right. In a moment up towards the Bentley straight, but for now you've got to wriggle your way through the left at Agostini, the left at Hamilton, and only then do you go right at Oggies and right again to the Bentley Straight itself with the speed building. Dennis Strandberg, though, is falling further and further back in the pack here. There's something not right with that car. So Strandberg, double winner at Silverstone, needed points out of this weekend. Decent result in the first race, remember, because he got second, but here, fading away, and now it's damage limitation. Josh Coggan, sadly, a second retirement of the weekend. That car going no further and looking a bit hot and bothered around the front. Marshall's quickly on the scene, and that's Dennis Strandberg off the road now. It's going from bad to worse for him. The battle is on between Paul Taylor here in the Golf, and behind him you've got the Simon Walton-driven Audi, but Dennis Strandberg at this race going to be lucky to stay on the lead lap, never mind get to the finish. Depper leading, second is Bond, third is now a charging Chris Paniutu as they come down through the Brundle and Nelson sequence. Paul Taylor coming through, and behind him is Simon Walton. So the race leader in this 20-minute race, Martin Depper, working his way down now through Coram in towards the completion of the lap, and then the sprint up towards the timing line once more. Simon Walton still pushing on, accelerating his way up towards the timing line. So Martin Depper and a checkered flag in the background, and then that's replaced with a last lap board by the look of it, but the flag has gone out to the leader at the wrong moment. So the checkered flag, it was marginal, but Martin Depper has seen the flag, he's waving, he's celebrating. Nobody else has been given a checkered flag, but if a flag is shown to a driver, the result is declared, and so Martin Depper confirmed as the race winner from Jamie Bond and Tom Wicks. Paul Taylor fourth, ahead of Simon Walton, Chris Paniutu down in sixth, but it's a race win for Martin Depper.
Martin, fantastic win out there, your second of the year.
Yes, it's all coming together. It was an interesting start and some close battling on early on, but we managed to get a bit of a lead, and then obviously I was just trying to control it from there, really. We got the win, that was the important thing, and a great way to end this sunny Sunday.
We've had 2 DNFs already, and the pace and the team, I mean, Wrightshire Insurance Team Hard Racing have done an amazing job with the car, and we just haven't had the luck to go with it. And to repay them with another podium this year is good for the lads. To see their faces was fantastic, yeah, definitely.
So Chris Paniutu still has the advantage in the championship, 16 points up on Martin Depper. Dennis Strandberg is third ahead of Matthew Wilson and Jamie Bond. Toby Davis in sixth.
Congratulations to Martin Depper and Simon Walton for taking a win apiece here at Snetterton. Understandably, absolutely delighted. Now, where next for the teams? Well, they don't have long. They have to pack their stuff up and head across to Kent and the incredible Brands Hatch circuit. See you there.